On the show this month, racing abandoned, sailing navigates the coronavirus. A year to go to the America's Cup, we check in with the defenders. And the 52 Super Series is back. Like all sports, sailing has been hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. The postponement by a year of the Tokyo 2020 Games will have a huge impact across the Olympic sailing community. Qualification events for Africa, Asia and Europe have been cancelled. The sport's governing body is now aiming to reschedule them for late 2020 or early 2021. In other types of sailing, events cancelled include the 2 European legs of the America's Cup World Series. Racing was due to take place in April in Cagliari, Italy, and in Portsmouth, England during the summer. We'll now have to wait for the 3rd and final event of the year, due to take place in New Zealand in December. Other events lost to the emergency include the TP52 World Championships in Cape Town and the second event of the Sail GP season in San Francisco. One World Championship that did take place was in the laser class in Australia. Olympic champion Marit Bouwmeester of the Netherlands won her 4th laser radial world title.
I'm just enjoying the moment. I mean, it's been an amazing week, like having my brother as a coach, and then my sister got her first child this week. It's just been...
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, it's just been amazing. It's amazing a time for the Bouwmeester family, so yeah.
The laser standard title went to Germany's Philipp Buhl.
The laser class is just incredible, tough to win the World Championships in, and it makes it incredible special, absolutely incredible, and I think that's the way you have to go. I mean, there's always only one guy who can be on the top, and I'm very, very lucky that I'm the one this year.
Just a few weeks ago, America's Cup excitement was already sky high. Anticipation was building for the first Cup action since 2017. New teams, new boats, revolutionary designs and awesome video from boat testing around the world meant we couldn't wait to see which team had got it right when they met for the first time in Italy in April. In the disappointment of cancellation, a milestone went almost unnoticed. But not by us and not by the defenders, who showed us how their preparations are going with 1 year to go.
Well, it's come around really quickly, and it's a pretty exciting time for us here at the team. You know, everything we've done over the last couple of years is aiming at that point of the 6th of March in 2021, but we feel as though we're in a good space. We've got a lot going on this year. We're developing boat 1, we've been sailing the 12 metre, we've got our boat 2 under construction, and we're about to head off. When you're a challenger, you know exactly what you are. That's all you're trying to do, is win the cup. With a defender, you've also got these other issues, defending the cup, running the event. So we're really taking more of an approach that we're not defending the cup, we're trying to win it. We're trying to win it back. So just a subtle change, but I think it's the correct one, and it's how we think here.
The campaign's now 80 months old. We've completed a good sailing period with our first boat. We've got a test boat on the water now too, so it's been pretty intense from the construction side. And then, the shore crew and the guys that, put the boats on the water every day, well, it just never seems to end at the moment. But the buzz comes as we move forward in less than probably 9 months' time at the start of summer. Other teams are going to start turning up, and the vibe's going to be here, and we all know what we're here for. We're certainly not here for the party. We've got to produce a weapon for our sailors to go to war on the water with.
We're really looking forward to it. It's going to be an amazing day, March the 6th. No one's really going to know on that day how it's going to play out. Ourselves, the defender and the challengers, wouldn't have sailed together since the last World Series event in December in Auckland. So, March 6th, quite a long way after that, and a lot of things can happen in that period of time. So it's going to be a really exciting weekend.
After the break, it's big boats and sunshine with the Super Series in Cape Town. And the 600-mile race around the Caribbean. Still to come, can reigning champions Azzurra of Italy defend their 52 Super Series title? But first, we hear from the winners of the Caribbean 600. Last month, we brought you pictures of the first boats to cross the line in the Royal Ocean Racing Club's Caribbean 600 race. It was a thrilling battle for multi-hull line honours, with 3 of the world's fastest boats fighting it out. The lead changed 7 times between Power Play of the Cayman Islands, Argo of the USA, and Italy's Giovanni Soldini on Maserati. In the end, victory went to Power Play.
That was intense. Brilliant race, absolutely brilliant race. It's like a bit of bungee between the 3 mods. So many lead changes. We'd all just come into each other each time. So I think there was like 4 or 5 full park ups, and we'd all just restart the race.
3 cheers for Power Play! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
Thank you. Thank you, Larry.
Behind them, the 73-boat fleet was still racing to arrive back in Antigua and complete the 600-mile race around 11 Caribbean islands. Overall winner, once IRC handicaps were added, was the TP52 Outsider.
We had a great race, the crew was working fantastic, 60 hours fighting every inch and every second, and loving the boat and taking care of it, and I mean, it's just fantastic.
The best part for sure is finish a race. If you do an offshore race, it's not just a race for 600 miles and not just having a good start. It's the preparation, it's bringing the boat here, it's to do all that what is in front of a race. And when you cross the finish line and you're back on the dock, then you know, okay, that half a year is over, and now what's the next project?
It's the first German boat to have won the race and ended a 7-year winning streak of winners from the USA. The Volvo 70 Wizard, who took the race last year, had to settle for second this time around.
It was a good race, a little frustrating in the very beginning. Made it up to the Barbuda mark and then had a nice reach down to Guadalupe. After that point, we had breezed the whole way. Nice coming back north again, and of course going around the island and an upwind finish.
Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
Next year's Caribbean 600 race will start from the historic Nelson's Dockyard in Antigua in February. The world's leading Grand Prix monohull circuit kicked off its season in Cape Town. 12 teams and their TP52 boats are challenging for the Super Series title. 6 events are scheduled over the summer to decide the winner.
This is wonderful. You know, it's something that's never been done here before, this high-level event, and we really hope that we can put on a good show for them and that they are really satisfied with what we can do here, and we hope the weather plays ball, you know, as well, so they get excellent racing and are very satisfied that we can show that in South Africa we can organize events as well, you know.
The season got underway in great conditions, 14 knots of southwesterly breeze. Phoenix 11 got away first, flying the South African flag. It's owned by software magnate Hasso Plattner. The crew had trained hard in Cape Town since Christmas and were looking fast and fluid. Brunenasek moved into second place at the top mark. The Russian team are looking for their first regatta win in their 5th season on the circuit. The battle for the front between the South African and Russian boats was heading for a grandstand finish. Plattner's men came out on top, taking the first race of the new season. Quantum Racing had the best start to the second race. The American team is one of only two who've won the 52 Super Series. But things weren't going their way in Cape Town. A penalty, and then having to clear kelp from their foils. Although they weren't alone in having to stop for some spring cleaning. Veteran boat owner and driver Andy Soriano was able to take advantage of the others' troubles on board Allegre. The British team's solid start saw them dominate the race all the way to the finish. The rig trouble they'd suffered ahead of the event seemed forgotten.
Because we had a bit of a struggle initially before the first race. We had to come back on the dock and we broke a gearbox inside the boat, so we had to come back in on the dock and re-glue that back to the boat, and then just got out in time for the first race there. So so it was nice to get a win in the second.
Day 2, lighter winds, but adrenaline's still flowing on the boats. Allegre got away, but their race wouldn't last long. Bow to bow with number 5 Sled, the two collided and both had to retire. Allegre was penalised. The damage to Sled forced them to pull out of the regatta. It was just one incident in an action-packed race that saw 7 penalties, perhaps reflecting early season rustiness. When Platoon of Germany challenged Phoenix 11, the world champions were given the first of 3 penalties that saw the Germans drop down the fleet and the South Africans storm ahead. Phoenix 11 led the fleet past stunning Table Mountain and crossed the line to make it 2 wins from 3. However, a winch breakage was about to ruin their celebrations. The Super Series defending champions Azzurra of Italy came in just behind them to claim second. Another close start in race 4 saw Brunellesec and Azzurra get away well. But for Platner's Phoenix 11 crew, the breakage suffered between races caused them all sorts of trouble, and in the end cost them the overall lead. Russia's Brunellesec continued the good form they showed on day 1 to take the race victory. But it was the second place boat that everyone was watching. For the 3rd time this regatta, Azzurra finished second, consistency that saw them move top of the overall leaderboard.
Yeah, so far we can't complain. We couldn't ask for a better start for sure. Anyway, we know it's only the beginning and this is a long season, but so far it's been good and the people here is great, so we are having a good time.
Very different conditions for day 3, which dawned foggy and caused a delay to the start of racing. But when the action began, it was Quantum who crossed the line first. The American team held that lead to the end to claim their first Super Series victory since August 2019. Race 6 finally saw the German-flagged team of Platoon claim their first victory of the season. The team are the bridesmaids of the fleet, having finished second overall the last 3 seasons. This year they're determined to make it to the altar first. Conditions were transformed on day 4, with breezes of 20 to 25 knots from the southeast. Allegre of Great Britain made a good start, with Quantum Racing and Phoenix 12. The 3 boats had chosen the best route to the top mark and got there as the leading 3. It was a breezy day that tested teamwork to the max. Equipment was also tested. Platoon blew their spinnaker in 2. Allegre's lead didn't last. Brunellesec read the course better and got ahead. The Russian boat held that lead and claimed their second win of the regatta. For Allegre, things just got worse and ended on the finish line with a total nightmare. Italy's Azzurra registered its worst result of the regatta with a 7th place, but still finished the penultimate day's racing with a 7-point lead. And that turned out to be enough to claim the event win. The winds that had blown all week refused to give us a grandstand climax. Azzurra and their Argentinian skipper had taken the first step to defending their crown.
It's always good to start in the right foot. We worked really, really hard over the winter. We thought about a lot of ways to improve our boat speed. It's hard to get even more and more and more after so many years. But somehow it seems that we were able to achieve something, and we were very pleased with the speed.
Second overall was a great result for Hasso-Plattner's Phoenix 11.
Great week, great regatta, very nice in Cape Town, and things played out very well. We made it a little bit tight when we lost our spinnaker, or ripped our spinnaker in the 5th race. Otherwise, we did pretty well.
So the first event of the 2020 52 Super Series saw last year's champions prove best again. The Azzurra team were famous for their consistency last season and proved nothing had changed this year. Let's hope the coronavirus allows us to enjoy more great action from the 52 Super Series later in the year. Next month, sailing reacts to the COVID-19 outbreak. Plus, the magic of racing offshore. In the meantime, from all of us, stay safe.